What is the origin of the universe? This is a question man has asked since the beginning of time. This presentation will present at a high level some key evidence for intelligent design. We seek to demonstrate that there is a design to this universe. From the initial creation of the universe, where from nothing, time and space were created with a definite beginning, to the fine-tuning for life that we experience here on Earth, a very unique planet within the entire galaxy, and ending up with the origin of life, and specifically human life. Is there a design to the universe? Let's just look at the complexity, the overwhelming complexity of the universe. In the last 50 years, we've discovered that the universe is expanding. And as it's expanding, it is cooling. Just recently, dark matter has been discovered, and this dark matter seems to influence the rate of this expansion. We make new discoveries all the time that help us understand how the universe works, but there's clearly a design behind the integration of the different components of the universe. As we move on to the Earth, the size of our moon is designed and is very unique as far as its mass compared to the size of the Earth. It impacts the rate of tide that we see in the oceans all over the surface of the Earth, as well as our orbital axis. It keeps our orbital axis in balance so that the Earth spins on a very tight axis of rotation. In addition to that, the water cycle of the Earth is very intricately designed. Water evaporates off of the ocean, which covers 70% of our planet. As that water evaporates up into the atmosphere, it then rains down over the land masses, including the mountain peaks, where it stores that water up over the winter as ice and snow. And then that ice and snow melt during the spring and summer, which then populates our lakes and streams. And then the animals and plants are very dependent upon those water sources to get them through the dry summer periods. And again, that cycle repeats itself. And moving on to life, even the simplest organisms that we see on Earth display very complex designs. For example, we see flying insects that have hydraulic pumps on their wings that beat up to 100 times per second. And the human eye, which is much more complex than we ever understood. Paul Davies, a British scientist, said the impression of design is overwhelming when you look at the universe. And we're finding out that on a weekly basis, there's new discoveries that make the case for intelligent design stronger, from dark energy in the universe to the complexity of small life forms, to the fact that we have not yet found any planets that have the unique design that the Earth does to support life. Most scientists agree that our universe was created in a singular event we call the Big Bang. This event that occurred 15.75 billion years ago was when everything was created from nothing. This includes time, space, mass, and energy, which begs the question, who or what created everything from nothing? The space-time theorem is based upon this Big Bang event, and it says that if general relativity reliably describes cosmic dynamics, then space and time were created by a causal agent who transcends space and time. This clearly reinforces intelligent design. One of the main pillars for intelligent design is our planet Earth, which is uniquely designed to support complex life. We are actually in a very stable neighborhood of the Milky Way galaxy. In other parts of our galaxy and other galaxies, it is very violent and volatile with gas and with comets and black holes and stars that put off so much radiation that you could not have a planet nearby that would support life. Earth is fine-tuned for life. I'm using these dials to demonstrate different features that support life on Earth. And if these settings on these features vary by as little as 1 or 2% on any one of them, life would not exist. And while I'm showing only 8 on this presentation, there's actually over 300 and more that are being discovered on a regular basis. For example, rainfall precipitation. If the rainfall is too much, clouds would cover the Earth, and also it would start a runaway greenhouse effect that would develop and destroy life on Earth. If there was too little rainfall, there would be no advanced life on the land, as droughts would start and dust bowls would occur across the land masses. If the mountains were too many and too high, there would be too much water that would be frozen and locked away and throw off our water cycle. And then if there was not enough mountains, or they weren't high enough, there would be too little ice being stored, and would also cause flooding and then worldwide droughts. Our orbit shape. If our orbit shape was too elliptical by as little as 5%, the seasonal temperature differences would be too extreme for life forms. Our distance from the sun, if we were any closer by as little as 1 or 2%, or further by 1 or 2%, it would either be too cold or too hot to sustain our water cycle as we know it. Our Earth is very unique. It is the only planet we know of that supports complex life. And this slide just demonstrates that through all the research we've done and billions of dollars that have been spent looking through the thousands of galaxies, millions of other stars, over 800 planets, including those in our solar system, looking for one that would support life. The best that we've come up with is evidence that there may have been some form of liquid on these planets, never any type of a bacteria or a fossil of a bacteria life form. And I believe that our design of our planet will demonstrate that we never will find life on any other planets, that our planet is uniquely designed to support life. Evolution claims we initially evolved from single-cell organisms such as bacteria. Now, Francis Ayala, a scientist, has calculated that the probability of bacteria eventually evolving into human being is 1 in 10 to the 1 millionth power. Now, just to give some perspective, the odds of that occurring are greater than one person buying one lottery ticket in the California Super Bowl lottery and winning it 8,000 consecutive times. In other words, it's impossible. I want to close with this. The causality law of physics state that the cause is greater than the effect. If evolution claims that we are derived from nothing, how did we humans that are intelligent, mindful, conscious beings come from what is unconscious, non-living, and mindless? Thank you. The rotational speed of our planet. If it was any faster, the atmospheric wind and velocities would be too great to support life, and if it was too slow, the temperature differences would also be too great to support life. Atmospheric transparency. If it was less transparent, minimal radiation would reach the surface of the Earth and would not support life. If the atmospheric transparency was overly transparent, then too much radiation would reach the surface of the Earth and burn everything up. The moon that holds our axial tilt in balance. If our axial tilt was greater, then the surface temperatures would be too great to support life. Even if it was lesser, it would be too great as far as our surface temperatures to support life.